Good day, everybody, and what is up? My name's Dr. Nick. Welcome to the podcast for Selfless Sex and She Comes First. Today is June 2nd, 2026, and I hope everyone's able to afford their gas out there, because this shit's getting crazy. But on a lighter note, let's get to something I'm going to continue with my future podcast, and it's called the Sex Word of the Week. And to go along with the series I'm doing right now, this week's sex word is labia. Labia are the folds of the skin that make up the external female genitalia, known as the vulva. They are divided into two distinct pairs: the labia majora, the outer lips. These lips are larger, fleshy outer folds that protect the other external reproductive organs. They are typically covered with pubic hair and contain sweat and oil glands. Number two, the labia minora, the inner lips. These are the smaller, hairless folds located just inside the labia majora. They surround and protect the opening to the urethra, where the urine exits, and the vagina. So let's continue right on with the series I call the Lick series, and this is the second episode, and this is called How to Perform Cunnilingus. Actually, we're going to talk about how to do it, what to do with your mouth, what to do with your hands. And this is very basic. There's nothing really overly fancy here, because in my opinion, you must learn the basics first before moving into the more dynamic or sensational movements or techniques. So let's get into that today. So in the most basic idea, cunnilingus is the act of using the mouth, lips, and tongue to stimulate the vulva. Start with broad, gentle kisses on the inner thigh and outer labia. Focus your tongue on the clitoris using slow, circular, or side-to-side movements, adjusting your pressure and pace based on your partner's cues. So yes, the paragraph that I just read to you is very general and very basic. But once you understand that, and once you master that, you will be well on your way to providing oral pleasure to your female partner. So now let's break it down into more individual elements. So if you put the whole thing together, you will be well on your way to being a cunnilingus master. So right off the bat, let me say this. Please remember, gentlemen, that every lady is special and different, and therefore she needs to be treated as such. So what I am saying here is that what may have worked with a previous girlfriend or previous partner may not work with your current partner, meaning that your previous girlfriend may have liked a lighter touch on her clitoris and on her labia, where your new partner may prefer and require a slightly heavier touch. So what I'm saying is that you really cannot generalize one movement to all women. So you need to pay attention to what she likes and what she doesn't like. So as I said again, you have to pay attention. So let's jump into it. Setting the scene and getting ready. Right off the bat, communication is important. Always check in with your partner, ask what feels good, and pay attention to her breathing, hip movements, and vocal cues. Arousal is key. Make sure your partner is aroused and wet before directly stimulating her most sensitive areas, including her clitoris. Hygiene. Make sure your mouth is fresh. So you got to brush your teeth and floss and things like that, use some mouthwash. Go ahead and do it. But make sure you have some fresh breath. And also you may want to check in with your partner just to see how fresh she is. And finally, you have to talk about safety here as well. If you are not sure of your partner's current STI status, or you would prefer to use a barrier, you can use a dental dam or a saran wrap. It doesn't matter if it's microwavable or not, or if worse comes to worse, you can use an unlubricated condom and you can cut it on the middle and you have a makeshift dental dam. Core techniques and movements. Start broad. Never start with intense direct stimulation on the clitoris, as this can be overstimulating or even painful. Begin with light kisses and broad strokes with a very relaxed tongue moving across the outer labia. Clitoral stimulation. The clitoris is highly sensitive. So basically, if you think of a pencil eraser, there are over 8,000 nerve endings sitting right there, and they have one job, and that's sexual pleasure. Use the flat part or tip of your tongue to make light circles, side to side movements, or even gentle upward flicks with your tongue. Vary the pressure. You can experiment with light sucking sensations or circling around the clitoris without even touching it directly. Always start soft and let your partner guide you to a firmer pressure when she wants it. And if you're paying attention, she will let you know. Adding hands and fingers. Labia spreading. Using your fingers to gently spread the labia open, which will expose the highly sensitive inner areas of the clitoris for better tongue access. Fingering. If your partner enjoys internal stimulation, you can insert 1 or 2 fingers into the vagina while using your tongue on her clitoris. You can even use a come here motion on the front of the vaginal wall where the G-spot is. For not everybody, for some women, but for some women it's there, which can be highly pleasurable. Teasing. You can use your free hand to caress her inner thigh, stomach, or breast to build up a full body anticipation and just to maintain some sort of physical contact with her. I want to go back to fingering for 1 minute because I forgot to mention something. If you're going to finger her, what must you do? You must cut and trim and file down your fingernails. Also, number 2, if your fingers are dirty, you have to wash your hands and get under your fingernails to get the grime out of there. Why? Because there's probably a ton of bacteria under there that you're going to shove into a nice, warm, and dark place, which could lead to a yeast infection or something else. Additionally, if you have sharp fingernails, you will cut her, you will scratch her. It's going to hurt, it's going to destroy the mood. So, if you are going to finger her, there is a lot of prep work that you have to do before engaging in any sort of that fun activity. And yes, it can be fun if done correctly. And finally, we have the rhythm and the build-up. Listen to your partner. When your partner gets close to having an orgasm, it is a common instinct to speed up intensity or just go faster. But many partners prefer that you keep doing the exact same thing that was working before. So she may tell you to speed up or slow down. Listen to the sounds she's making. If you hear her getting close to having an orgasm, keep doing the exact same thing. Unless you know your partner well enough that you will have to add maybe just a little bit more pressure so you get a deeper type of oral stimulation on the clitoris or on the labia or whatever works for her. But you have to pay attention, which goes back to something I said in Selfless Sex years ago, that you have got to pay attention and use your senses. And finally, the alphabet technique. This is basic 101 here. If you are unsure of what patterns to use on the clitoris when you're trying to lick it, try tracing the letters of the alphabet with the tip of your tongue, which naturally creates a variety of different sensations and movements. So, as I close out this podcast, let me say this. Cunnilingus can be a lot of fun for both partners, and it's one way to give your partner direct stimulation of a clitoris, which could lead to a lot of sexual pleasure and potentially an orgasm. And for some gentlemen out there, they actually do enjoy performing oral sex on their female partner. I can raise my hand. I'm raising my hand because I'm one of them. Because I know over the years I've gotten somewhat good at it. I'm not an expert at it yet. I always believe that there is room for improvement. And also, I kind of dropped a little note or a hint about the third and final podcast of the Lick series, where I was talking about the G-spot. And that's coming next week because the G-spot stimulating the G-spot can cause a different type of orgasm, which many women describe as a full-bodied or deeper orgasm, which also causes an immense amount of pleasure. And for a small percentage of women out there, they will eject a fluid, which we like to call nowadays squirting. So please tune in for next week's podcast. If you made it all the way through and you like what I said, please hit the like button and subscribe to this podcast, whatever you're listening to it on Spotify, YouTube, or whatever. It's all good. So, on that note, I'm out. You guys have a great day. Stay tuned, and I will definitely talk to you soon.